welcome to this tutorial on how to make Pong in Code.org Game Lab. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our animations, also known as just drawings. So you're going to draw a paddle, which you can just use the rectangle tool and like put it out like that. Seems good. And then paint bucket and put that in there, and then crop it. So let's call this paddle. We only need to make one for both of them. If this is a little too big for you, you can also erase a little bit, like on the top, if you want to make it smaller, or you could do that in code, but this is easier. So that seems small enough, and just remember to crop it. Okay, so we have our paddle. Let's declare our variables. So the function draw right here, this is basically our update function, meaning that it will repeat every frame. So up here is where we will declare the variables, because we do not want the variables to be declared every second, every frame. So we're going to declare up there. Let me just make my space bigger. And up here we're going to say var player is equal to creating a new sprite. And where do we want it? We want it, let's go 30. So we're going to write 30 for the x and comma, and then 215. And then we create a sprite right here. Remember to use draw sprites in your draw function, so it will always keep the sprites drawn. Next, let's set the animation. So we're going to say player dot set animation, and what animation we want is the paddle. We're going to close the toolbox just for extra space, and in here it should create a sprite that is at 30 and 215. There we go. We have our sprite right here. This is a little too long. So if you don't really want to like change it in here, you can change it over here. Here. So we're going to say player dot width, and we're going to set it equal to I think 100 is the default, so let's go half of that. Oh, we do not want width, we want height. Okay, and it goes smaller like that. I think that's small enough. So let's copy all this and create our AI. Okay, so we're just going to call this AI. Then we want the same paddle, but we want to change the position. So we're going to keep it at 215 for its Y, but let's make it 370 for its X. Okay, so we have our two players right there. So let's make a new function called drawing. So this is basically our setup, but remember you cannot call it setup because that is like a built-in function that they already have in here, and it will mess with yours. So call it drawing. Next, you're gonna put drawing in your function draw. Okay. So in drawing, we want to change the background to white. So every second, it will change back to white. So we do not like make more than one sprite. So let's make our player move. I can show you what will happen if we don't have that. Okay, so for player move, we're going to put this in our function draw. We're basically putting all our functions in function draw. Player move in there. Now in function player move, we're just gonna write some ifs about if we move, like if we click W or S. So you're gonna write if, key down, and I'm just gonna use at quotes S like that, and we're gonna copy this for our W. And now let's write our code right here. So we're going to say player dot y is equal to player dot y plus 5. Well, so it should make so we go down, but you'll notice a problem. It recreates this. That's why you need the background to white. There we go. Let's add the same thing for this, except minus. -5. Okay. So we have our player moving. Now let's add a ball. Okay, so for the ball, we're going to make this smaller so you can click resize. And I say 50 would be a good size. So let's just make this all black. Okay, let's declare it. Var ball is equal to create a sprite at 200, 200, which is the center. And set the animation. To ball. Okay, and should show, that's a little big. Let's make it smaller. So we're going to say ball.scale, which scales the entire object. So equal to 0.4. Let's try that. A little smaller. Let's go 3. That's big enough. Okay, so next let's add boundaries for our player. So you're gonna write if our player is let's go 30, player dot y is greater than 30, or no, less than 30. Then what we want to happen is player.y is equal to 30. So we're setting its position to 30. Wait, let me just... Oh, it's going up. Okay. So let's do this for the other way. Is greater than 370. We want the player to be equal to 370. Okay, so now we should have boundaries. So we cannot go past the screen over there, and we cannot go past the screen right there. Okay, let's make our ball movement. So at the beginning, we want our ball to be going, let's just make so it goes up and this way. So we're going to say ball dot velocity x is equal to, let's go 10. So it should go that way. We want minus 10. Okay. Now we're going to say ball dot velocity y is equal to minus 10. So it should make so it goes up. Yeah. Let's make this slower. So let's go 7. He is a little fast. Okay. Our player is also a little slow. Let's make him 10 so he can go catch up to the ball faster. Okay. Let's add our AI movement, which won't be that hard. So function AI move. Remember, don't call it after a variable. Don't call your function a variable that you've made. Say AI move up here. Now we're gonna want him to move of the velocity of the ball. So we're gonna say AI dot velocity y is equal to ball dot velocity y. It's moving speed of that. Okay. Next, let's add if the ball is colliding with the player, then he bounces the other way. Also for AI. We also need to add our boundaries to the AI. We'll do that in a minute. So say function ball move. Okay, call up here. Okay, and in ball move, if our player is colliding, if ball dot collide with the player, we want to set the velocity to the opposite of what it is. So right now the velocity is going -7, so we're going to say velocity dot x, ball dot velocity dot x, ball dot velocity x is equal to 7. So he goes that way. Let's add it also for the AI. So if ball dot collides with the AI, then we want ball dot velocity x equal to -7. Okay. So if it hits the AI, then it'll go the other way. Let's add our boundaries for the AI. So if AI dot y is greater than, what was our players? 370, then what we want is for player.y, not player.y, AI.y is going to be equal to 370. And we want that also for when it goes the other direction. So if AI.y is less than 30, then AI.y is equal to 30. Oh, equal. Okay. Can't go any higher than that. And we got our AI and player move and our balls move. Okay, let's add score. So we're going to say function scoring. Okay, call scoring. And in scoring, what we want to happen is if the ball dot x is less than less than 20 would be good. Then what we want is for the AI score, which we haven't declared yet, is plus equal to 1. So we're gonna add AI score to 1. So let's make that variable up here. Beginning of the game is gonna be 0. So it's going to equal 1 then. Now let's just test this out and do a council.log. And do the council.log. What we want is AI score. So it should show up. The points just keep going because he's always less than 20. So what we need to also make is a function that respawns the ball. So say function spawn ball. And in spawn ball, we're going to have is for the ball to basically go back to its original position. So we're going to say ball dot y dot x is equal to 200 and ball dot y is equal to 200. So he's respawning, and then we also need to make so ball dot velocity cx is equal to 7. Sure. Ball dot velocity y is equal to 7 too. Okay, so when he respawns the ball, it will go there. Okay. So next, what we want is for the to spawn the ball right here. So let's say spawn ball. So it should respawn the ball once it gets to there. See, it respawns the ball. Okay. Now let's add this same thing for the player. So we're gonna say if ball dot x is greater than 380, then what we want is for player score to go up. And we want to spawn the ball. So let's create player score. Okay, so the player score is created, and it should add 1 to every time. So let's add some text to the screen so we can see what our score was. So let's go into our drawing right here. We're going to add a text, which you say text. And then what string we want, we're going to do player score right here. And where do we want it? Let's go 125, 135, and a y of 48. Let's add another one for our enemy. And call it AI score. And we're going to keep the y, but we're going to move the x over by just a little. So let's go 186. You can function with these and like make so they are as much as you want. Like, so you see these? Let's make the text size bigger. So we're going to say text size, and we're going to set to whatever we want. I'm going to do 40. So now this should be pretty big. But they're kind of like a little over. So I think one should be 100, let's just put my mouse right here. 100, because 200 is the center of the screen, so we need one like 10 over. So let's go 190. Then the other one 10 other. So 210. Okay, so they're right there. Let's put them apart just a little. 50. Okay, so they should. That's good. Okay. We should now add, so if the ball hits the wall, then it bounces off of it. So we're going to write in the ball move, we're going to say if ball is dot y is greater than 380, then we want the ball dot y y to change to equal to 7. So when it bounces off the bottom, you make it -7. See, so it bounces there. Now let's do the other way. Ball dot y is less than 20. We're gonna set ball dot velocity ty is going to be equal to 7. That's another thing that we'll fix in the next video. But so far, your game is pretty much good. And also it will kind of be like a diamond. I don't think this is enough because, well, like, it should go farther than just that X. So we're gonna say 0 and 400. Okay, it seems pretty good. If you'd like to change the text color, I shall show you that. So you made a simple game, Pong. We'll fix the bugs next video. See you next.